12500T2.0 GHz 4.4 GHz 35W74W12490F 168 3.0 GHz 4.6 GHz 20 MB 65W117W China exclusive 12400 2.5 GHz 4.4 XUG 7301.45 GHz 18 MB $1921240 F $1671240 T 1.8 GHz 4.2 XUG 7301.45 GHz 35W74W $192 Core i3 8 3.5 GHz 4.4 GHz 12 MB 60W89W $1431230 T 2.3 GHz 4.2 GHz 35W69W $12100 3.3 GHz 4.3 GHz 1.40 GHz 60W89W $1221210 F 58W $9712100 T 2.2 GHz 4.1 XUG 7301.40 GHz 35W69W $122 Extreme Performance Mobile Processors, Alder Lake HX. Bold indicates ECC memory support. Processor branding model cores, threads. Basic clock rated Turbo Boost 2.0 UHD graphics Smart Card power price, USD. PPPS Max.Frick.Base Turbo Core i9-12950HX8, 16, 8, 8. 2.3 GHz 1.7 GHz 5.0 GHz 3.6 GHz 321.55 GHz 30 MB 55W157W $590129000 HX $606 Core i7-12850HX 2.1 GHz 1.5 GHz 4.8 GHz 3.4 GHz 1.45 GHz 25 MB $428128000 HX 2.0 GHz $4571265 HX 6 12 4.7 GHz 3.3 GHz 24 MB Core i5-12600 HX 4 8 2.5 GHz 1.8 GHz 4.6 GHz 1.35 GHz 18 MB $2841240 HX 4 4 2.4 GHz 4.4 GHz 3.1 GHz 161.30 GHz 12 MB High Performance Mobile Processors, Alder Lake H. Processor branding model cores, threads. Basic clock rated Turbo Boost 2.0 Iris Xe graphics Smart Card base power turbo power price, USD. P Core Scores Max Frick Core i9-12900 HK6, 12, 8, 8. 2.5 GHz 1.8 GHz 5.0 GHz 3.8 GHz 961.45 GHz 24 MB 45W115W $635129000 H $617 Core i7-12800 H 2.4 GHz 4.8 GHz 3.7 GHz 1.4 GHz $4571270 H 2.3 GHz 1.7 GHz 4.7 GHz 3.5 GHz 12650 H 4 4 64 Core i5-12600 H 4 8 8 8 2.7 GHz 2.0 GHz 4.5 GHz 3.3 GHz 8018 MB 95W $3111250 H 2.5 GHz 1.8 GHz 1.3 GHz 12450 H 4 4 2.0 GHz, 1.5 GHz, 4.4 GHz, 481.2 GHz, 12 MB. Low power performance mobile processors, Alder Lake P. Processor branding model cores, Threads. Basic clock rated Turbo Boost 2.0 Iris Xe graphics Smart Kick base power turbo power price, USD. P Core Scorus Max Frit Core i7 12880 P6 12 8 1.8 GHz, 1.3 GHz, 4.8 GHz, 3.6 GHz, 961.45 GHz, 24 MB, 28W64W $482. 1270p 4, 8, 2.2 GHz, 1.6 GHz, 3.5 GHz, 1.40 GHz, 18 MB $4381260p 2.1 GHz, 1.5 GHz, 4.7 GHz, 3.4 Score i51250p 1.7 GHz, 1.2 GHz, 4.4 GHz, 3.3 GHz, 8012 MB $320140p 1.30 GHz. Core i3-1220p2, 4, 1.5 GHz, 1.1 GHz, 641.10 GHz $281. Ultra-low power mobile processors, Alder Lake U. Processor branding model cores, Threads. Basic clock rated Turbo Boost 2.0 Iris Xe graphics Smart Kick base power turbo power price, USD. P Core Scorus Max Frit Core i7 1265 U2, 4, 8, 8. 1.8 GHz, 1.3 GHz, 4.8 GHz, 3.6 GHz, 961.25 GHz, 12 MB 15W 55W $4261260 U1.1 GHz, 0.8 GHz, 4.7 GHz, 3.5 GHz, 0.9 GHz, 9W 29W 1255 U1.7 GHz, 1.2 GHz, 1.25 GHz, 15W 55W $426. 1250 U1.1 GHz, 0.8 GHz, 0.9 GHz, 9W 29W Core i5 1245 U1.6 GHz, 1.2 GHz, 4.4 GHz, 3.3 GHz, 801.2 GHz, 15W 55W $3091240 U1.1 GHz, 0.8 GHz, 0.9 GHz, 9W 29W 1235 U1.3 GHz, 0.9 GHz, 1.2 GHz, 15W 55W $309. 1230 U1.0 GHz, 0.7 GHz, 0.9 GHz, 9W 29W Core i3-1215 U4, 4, 1.2 GHz, 1.2 GHz, 641.1 GHz, 10 MB 15W 55W $2811210 U1.0 GHz, 0.7 GHz, 0.85 GHz, 9W 29W. 13th generation. Raptor Lake is Intel's code name for the 13th generation of Intel Core processors and the second generation based on a hybrid architecture. 169. It is fabricated using an improved version of Intel's Intel 7 process. 170. Intel launched Raptor Lake on the 22nd of October, 2022. Architecture changes in comparison to Alder Lake. CPU. Raptor Cove High Performance Cores, P cores, 171, 2 MB of L2 cache per core, up from 1.28 MB on Alder Lake. Frequency increase of 600 MHz. Grace Mount High Efficiency cores equals 171, doubling of the shared L2 cache per cluster from 2 MB to 4 MB. Doubling of E-cores on most desktop processors. Up to 36 MB of L3 cache, 172. GPU. Up to 1650 MHz of maximum frequency on the i9-13900K, 171. I/O. LGA 1700 socket for desktop, same as Alder Lake, 173, 171, 174. Intel 700 series chipset, backwards compatible with 600 series, 174. 20 PSI lanes from CPU, 16 PSI Gen 5 lanes, 4 PSI Gen 4 lanes. DDR5, DDR4, LPDDR5, and LPDDR4 support up to 192 GB of RAM. Up to DDR4 3200 support. Up to DDR5 5600 support. XMP 3.0 support. Integrated Thunderbolt 4 and Wi-Fi 6E support desktop processors, Raptor Lake S. All CPUs support up to DDR5 4800 and 192 GB of RAM 13600 and better support DDR5 5600. 13,500 and lower support DDR5 4800. Intel 600 and 700 chipset support with LGA 1700. Intel 600 series chipsets require BIOS update to achieve support for Raptor Lake S. First 6 GHz processor, 13900KS, asterisk by default. Core i9-13900KS achieves 6.0 GHz only when using thermal velocity boost with sufficient power and cooling. Processor branding model cores, threads, basic clock rated Turbo Boost 2.0, Turbo Boost 3.0, Iris Z graphics, Core Scorus, Core E-Core Ep, Core Scorus, Corsus Max, Fret Core i9-13900KS 8, 16, 3.2 GHz, 2.4 GHz, 5.4 GHz, 4.3 GHz, 5.8 GHz, 321.65 GHz, 13900K, 3 GHz, 2.2 GHz, 5.7 GHz, 13900KF, 13900, 2 GHz, 1.5 GHz, 5.2 GHz, 4.2 GHz, 5.5 GHz, 321.65 GHz, 13900F, 13900 T, 1.1 GHz, 0.8 GHz, 5.1 GHz, 3.9 GHz, 5.3 GHz, 321.65 GHz, Core i7-13700K 8, 3.4 GHz, 2.5 GHz, 5.3 GHz, 4.2 GHz, 5.4 GHz, 1.6 GHz, 13700 KF, 13700, 2.1 GHz, 1.5 GHz, 5.1 GHz, 4.1 GHz, 5.2 GHz, 321.6 GHz, 13700 F, 13700 T, 1.4 GHz, 1 GHz, 4.8 GHz, 3.6 GHz, 4.9 GHz, 321.6 GHz, Core i5-13600K6, 12, 3.5 GHz, 2.6 GHz, 5.1 GHz, 3.9 GHz, 1.5 GHz, 13600 kF, 13600, 2.7 GHz, 2 GHz, 5 GHz, 3.7 GHz, 321.55 GHz, 13600 T, 1.8 GHz, 1.3 GHz, 4.8 GHz, 3.4 GHz, 13500, 2.5 GHz, 1.8 GHz, 3.5 GHz, 13500 T, 1.6 GHz, 1.2 GHz, 4.6 GHz, 3.2 GHz, 13400, 2.5 GHz, 1.8 GHz, 3.3 GHz, 241340 F, 13400 T, 1.3 GHz, 1 GHz, 4.4 GHz, 3 GHz, 241.55 GHz.